Hello everyone and welcome to The No Show. I'll be your host Nathan Orenstein and today I'm going to be reviewing Return to Silent Hill. Return to Silent Hill is written by Christophe Gans, Sandra Vo-Anh, and Will Schneider, directed by Christophe Gans and stars Jeremy Irvine and Hannah Emily Anderson. James receives a mysterious letter from his lost love Mary, drawing him back to the town of Silent Hill where they used to live together. Upon arrival, he finds that the town is almost unrecognizable and filled with monstrous creatures that he must confront in order to find Mary. Return to Silent Hill is a reboot of the Silent Hill film franchise, and it's based on the video game Silent Hill 2. I really should have known that things were too good to be true when we got a horror movie as good as 28 years later, The Bone Temple, in January. For those of you who are unaware, January is generally a dumping ground of horror films that weren't good enough for a summer or a Halloween release. Even if you weren't aware, the movie gods certainly were, and they knew that they had to balance the scales that The Bone Temple had mercifully tipped. Enter Return to Silent Hill, a movie I can confidently say is one of the worst I've ever seen in my life. Let's talk about it. I'm gonna keep this as brief as possible because I've already wasted enough of my own time simply watching this movie, let alone writing, presenting, and editing a review for it. Alas, that is my responsibility to my less than 200 subscribers, and it is not a responsibility that I take lightly. So first of all, what is Return to Silent Hill about? That's a great question, and one that I don't really have the answer to. This is one of those movies that's kind of messing around with what is and isn't real, but there's like 3 or 4 different realities stacked on top of each other here, and it is impossible to follow where this story goes. All I know is that we've got James, played horrifically by Jeremy Irvine, who's doing his damnedest to not only find his lost love in this ghost town, but to hold an American accent for more than 2 seconds at a time. Luckily for Mr. Irvine, there's not a whole lot of dialogue here, and instead we get to watch him walk alone down generic, CGI-filled corridors that all kind of look the same for probably half of this film. Well, do scary things happen to him as he walks, seeing that this is indeed a horror movie? No, not really. Sometimes an image might flash on screen that could get you to jump, and sometimes there is a poorly CGI'd monster, but that's pretty much all you're gonna get. The real challenge here isn't staying brave in the face of horrifying imagery, but staying awake in the face of excruciating boredom that doesn't really lead anywhere satisfying by the time things wrap up. I checked my watch 30 minutes into this movie. 30 minutes! Shout out to Return to Silent Hill for shattering my previous record, which couldn't have been less than 45 minutes. Genuinely nothing happens during that time, and with the lack of dialogue, there is nothing to hold your attention here. Sure, James does meet some people along the way, and there is more talking in the second half for sure, but that's not enough to save this movie. Could you imagine the bar being that low? I got excited when people simply spoke about anything really, because it made it easier for me to stay awake. What follows is confusing, nonsensical bullshit that spirals out of control until we finally hit the conclusion of the film kind of out of nowhere. Maybe it felt like it was out of nowhere because I had zero grasp on what the story actually was, but I was happy to see the credits roll regardless. As you can probably tell from my exasperated tone, there was no fun to be had here. Usually when a movie is this bad, it's at least fun to laugh at it. That is not the case here. It is not a so bad it's good type of movie. It is a put you to sleep type of movie. There is zero reason to watch this. This is the rare type of film where not a single thing works, and none of it is even worth laughing at either. I'll leave you with this. I saw Return to Silent Hill with 2 friends. One of them said that she tried to fall asleep so that the movie would go by quicker. That is the cinematic equivalent of putting a gun to your head and pulling the trigger. She tried to escape the horrible reality she found herself in, but just like James, she was trapped in Silent Hill. I'm going to be giving this a 1 out of 10. If you enjoyed the review, then feel free to leave a like and subscribe if you're new. And if you've seen Return to Silent Hill already, I'd love to hear your thoughts down in the comments below. I've been Nathan Orenstein with The No Show. Thanks for watching.